What's up, my friend?
Let's do this. We're excited to be down here. The doors open at 11 o'clock. Come by and say hi. We got great giveaways. There's discounted parking across the street at the 210 Commerce Street Garage. We'll come and ask your server about that. We'd love to see you today. This is an outstanding place in downtown Nashville. When I walked in, it's got a cool, like, New York Seinfeld vibe to it.
It does have a kind of a Seinfeld feel to it. I like it.
So it's fantastic. And so we'll be talking about throughout the show. At 10:45, the GM, Don Morris, will join us, talk about what's happening with Black Tap. He'll also sit in for celebrity birthdays, too, as well. So, Chase, you have to beat him.
Hey, I'm going to do my best. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. We're staring right at it. You can park at the Commerce parking, 210 Commerce, and have discounted parking. So that's not an issue. So come by and see us. I mean, there's the old Demas's and then Wild Beaver. I know you've had some wild nights over there.
I have. They got the mechanical bull.
They do.
Yeah. I'm a 3-time champion of the Wild Beaver.
So come by and see us. You'll be here until 1 o'clock. I'm going to hang around too. Yeah. So you'll be giving hugs and signing people up to win some Preds.
We will. So here's the deal. You got to come in and register to win. You don't have to be here to win. But you got to come in and when you come in, get a great milkshake, get burgers. I mean, it's fantastic. Register to win, and then go about your day, and then we'll draw a little after 1 o'clock and got some great Preds tickets to give away, so we'll have a fun day here.
Yep. So looking forward to that. Roman Josi going to join us in just a few minutes, get his thoughts on last night's game. And another tough one. I mean, up 2-0 in this one, and then they lose 3-2 to the Anaheim Ducks. Now, this is not an excuse, not making an excuse at all, but – Anaheim Ducks, pretty good team, and the Predators, I think, are still trying to find their way, and that's fine when you're in a situation that they're in, but you got to do it soon if you want to be able to play postseason hockey.
What's the whole thing? You can't make the playoffs in November, but you sure as heck can
miss out on it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, but we'll get Roman's thoughts on that, and hopefully things will settle down with them here soon, and hopefully I can get our camera to work. That'll be great.
That's
okay. There we go.
Look at that. Yeah. Zooming in there. Nice. All right, we got a bone to pick with Robbie and Rexroad, right?
We do, yeah.
So they made fun of us because we think Tennessee's going to win on Saturday. But you know what? Robbie was a little bit on our side. I know he's got to appease Rexroad because he's a bully. So Robbie likes the fact we take Tennessee to beat Georgia. And it came out last night. Georgia's now number one across the board.
So Sean Ford, our GM, big Georgia fan, I was with him when that happened, and he shook his head. He goes, Kirby's going to hate that.
Well, Tennessee's going to love it because.
And Kirby said yesterday we had a bad practice. Kirby's playing the mind games.
Oh yeah, Saban Jr. He knows what to do.
Yep.
So here's the deal. So Robbie and Rexroad, you didn't sign on for this, but here, if Georgia beats Tennessee, Chase and I will treat you to lunch here at Black Tap. Okay? Whatever you want. When Tennessee beats Georgia, you guys treat us to lunch here at Black Tap. Either way, Black Tap's going to win, but I want Robbie and Rexroad have to pay for our lunch.
Okay.
So that's the deal. They didn't sign on to this, and they don't know about
it. Well, as their boss, I'm going to say that they have to. How about that?
But I really think you spoke it yesterday very well. This is Tennessee's national championship.
Yep.
To knock off the Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday in Neyland Stadium would be fantastic for this fan base, for the team, for everyone involved in it, and I think they get it done.
Yeah, I still think they do too. I mean, well, and here's another thing too, to show you, and I want to create this, but the ebbs and flows of the SEC and an SEC fan throughout the year. Like, at the beginning of the year at SEC Media Days, I said Saban's got a swagger back. Watch out, they're gonna be pretty good, and then they lose to Texas. I'm like, oh, no, they're done. Well, count them out. And then, they go through the whole quarterback thing. And then now I'm like, nope, they're back. They're going to win it all. Georgia better be careful. So, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's go to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Roman Josi is on the line with us, Predators captain, joining us. Roman, good morning. Thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I know it's been a tough couple games. I mean, there's really no other way to put that. That you guys come out, you get a lead, and then you've played some scrappy young teams like yourself that battle back. As a veteran, and knowing that you have so many of these young guys on your team. How do you help get through that in these tough moments and not let yourself and let them get too down on yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously a fine balance. I think you got to stay positive. I think, especially in the last two games, I think there's some good things that we did. Obviously, we didn't get the results, but I didn't like our games in Calgary and Winnipeg at all. I feel like we didn't play well at all. But I feel like the last two games took a step, made some mistakes that cost us, and obviously we got to find a way to win games. But I think a lot of us older guys, we've been through that in our careers, and I think every time you go through it, you gotta find a way to hold yourself accountable and make sure you correct some things and do things better. But at the same time, you gotta stay positive, and the only way we get out of this is together. So you gotta make sure we stick together and just find a way.
Yeah, and you made a good point. I mean, like there are several of those games on the road trip, and then that you've had throughout the season that you guys have played well. It's almost like you just haven't been rewarded for it, and so how do you hold on to those moments and then just finish? And that's something that Andrew Burnett has talked about. It's the little things that you guys just got to close it out, and you're right there, and then all of a sudden we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, I think if you look at the road trip, I feel like the first two games, I actually thought we played really well. We lost to Vancouver, lost to Seattle, but I felt like we had two really good games, and we deserved a better outcome. And I think as a player, you can live with that. I've been in the league for a long time. I feel like if you keep doing the right things and you keep playing well, you are going to get rewarded and you're going to win games. It always, sometimes it doesn't seem fair, but at the end of the day, it always evens out, and it'll be fair by the end of it. So I think as long as you do the right things, it's more frustrating when you feel like you're not playing well, you're not playing up to potential. That's when it gets frustrating. But we got to find a way to just play our game, and you can't worry too much about results. And like I said, those will come if you do the right things.
We're talking to the great Roman Josi this morning on 102.5 The Game. Roman, we had Hal Gill on yesterday. He talked about the fine line between frustrated and being mad. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think they're probably two different things. I would say, I think sometimes it's good to get a little mad. I feel like that, I don't know, just personally, I feel like when I'm a little mad, you're involved in the game, you have your emotions in the game. So, I think frustrated is a whole nother thing. I think frustration is something that you gotta kind of, after the game, you might be a little frustrated, but you gotta kind of let go of that pretty quick. But I feel like it's okay to get mad. It's okay to have those emotions. We're all passionate. We all care about what we do. We want to win games. So if you're mad, be mad. That's okay.
Does the effort part get to you when you see guys not giving 100% when you're giving 100%? And if so, how do you approach a player who's not giving that effort? Do you confront him? Do you set him aside? Do you talk to him? How do you do that? Because, you're the captain, the leader of the team, and they look to you for everything. But how do you call a guy out with not, making it confrontational, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Well, I think effort that should be a given. That's just something that's non-negotiable, right? I think we can all make mistakes. Everybody can live with mistakes, but if the effort is there, that's just not acceptable. And we felt like it wasn't there in Calgary. It wasn't great in Winnipeg. I felt like the last two games it was a lot better, but I think that's something you always got to address. I feel like we have a really good relationship with our team, and everybody's on the same page. And if the effort isn't there, I want other guys to tell me if my effort isn't great. So I hope they expect the same from me, and I think that's something that needs to be addressed right away.
Predators captain Roman Josi is on the line with us now. A positive that has happened in the last few games, your buddy Philip Forsberg, and we all know how this happens. It's like he gets into a rhythm, and then Scoresburg is born. He's got 18.7 goals, scored again last night. that has to excite the entire locker room when you see him.
Yeah, he's been playing great. I mean, he's really been a force for us, like on offense. But yeah, I mean, the scoring is always. I think scoring is always what sticks out with him. But I feel like it's the way he plays right now. He plays with so much energy. He plays hard. I mean, he had a huge hit, I think, against Arizona. He kind of does all these little things, and he's just, whenever he's going like that, he's an absolute force up there, and he's one of those power forwards with like extreme skill. So yeah, when he's going like that, I mean, it's great for our team, and just you can see it by his mindset. He's going to have a great year, and we're going to need him too.
How tough has it been not having Ryan McDonough in the lineup?
Yeah, we're missing him for sure. He's one of those guys you definitely miss. He's obviously he's a warrior. He's very experienced. Great guy to have in the locker room, and he's just such a big presence on defense, and just the way he plays a lot of big minutes. Shuts down the other team's top line, and yeah, not having him is definitely. We definitely missed him, but yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon.
Roman, you guys have a few days off. Now, I'm curious, and I'm not a stalker, but like, what do you do on your day off?
We actually practice today. I'm on my way to practice. We'll have a practice today, and then we have a day off tomorrow. Practice Friday, and then play Saturday. Tomorrow I'll just probably hang out with the fam, hang out with the kids, and yeah, do something fun with them, and enjoy some time away from the rink.
Are you able, like when you're at home tomorrow, I mean, do you turn on the TV and watch, I don't know, like Calgary play Toronto? I mean, can you watch hockey? Because I know some pro athletes who can't do it because they're like I got to get away from it completely. Are you able to do that?
No, I won't watch Calgary play tomorrow, probably. I don't really watch. I probably watch football, but I don't really watch hockey during the regular season. I love watching hockey in playoffs, but yeah, during the regular season we have so many games. So yeah, whenever you're home, you try to enjoy time with the family and just get away from hockey a little bit.
Well, Roman, have a good practice today. Thanks so much for doing this, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena on Saturday against Chicago.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Roman Josi, Predators captain, joining us. Always have a key player join us every Wednesday around 9:05. And you know, while it's tough going right now with them,
right.
You can look. That's leadership. That's they're going to go out and work at it today. I think having the 3 days off is going to be beneficial for them, or 3 days not playing games. So
sure,
a couple of practice days and then a day off is certainly going to be beneficial to them.
I mean, it's weird talking about, you know, he's married and got a family. Because I remember when he first showed up here, he was just a baby.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then now he's just, you know, now he's a man. And so it's I'm always curious what they do on their days off, right? Like, I don't care what you do on your day off.
If I was a hockey player, well, no, I know you don't. You make fun of me. Like when I say I'm going to watch Batman, you're like, really? That's what you're going to do? You're not going to do something?
I just, you know, it's just hard to kind of get away from it all because you're going, playing in front of tens of thousands of people, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, I got a day off. What am I going to do? So thank you, Roman.
With my day off, people look at me and go, hey, I know you talk sports every day, but will you talk sports? Sure.
I don't have any friends.
Why
I don't
not?
have to worry about that.
Well, you're my friend.
I'm good. Appreciate it.
Big Joe and Ricky, and that's what
That's
I got.
That's about it, man.
We'll have John McClain join us at the bottom of the hour. Again, we are live today at Black Tap Burgers and Beer. They will open at 11 o'clock. Big Joe will be here until 1. I'm going to hang out as well. You can come by, register to win Preds tickets and different prizes. But looking forward to being here today. I'm looking forward to trying the food.
Oh, food is fantastic. The milkshakes are fantastic. I mean, it's going to be your destination if you come downtown here at Black Tap. The ticket giveaways are Blackhawks and Preds this Saturday, and the Flyers versus the Preds on December the 12th. Remember, you got to be here to register. You don't have to be here to win when we draw that later on. So we'll see you when the doors open at 11 o'clock here at Black Tap.
And you don't have to be here to listen to the next segment. You can just listen to your radio because it's Chasing Big Joe,
Right.
102.5, 106.3 The Game.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you want the national
Hey. I got this. I'll take it from here.
Okay, go ahead. Dying to hear this.
We have the best national voices that you'll find anywhere.
Who was more deserving of being thrown from their game?
I'm odd, so I get the odd picks.
They have a new coaching staff.
It's not a bad scenario for them.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
And 94.9 The Fan.
Preds fans, we are going bigger, bolder, and golder than ever this season in Smashville. Join us for the second gold game of the season as we take on the Chicago Blackhawks this Saturday, November 18th at Bridgestone Arena. Head down early for the Preds Plaza Party presented by Dr. Pepper to enjoy family-friendly activities, giveaways, live music, and more. Plus, everyone in attendance will receive an exclusive gold t-shirt courtesy of Vanderbilt Health as we celebrate Hockey Fights Cancer. Secure your tickets today at NashvillePredators.com. Welcome to Smashville.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The official brand perception report for doors and windows is in. Pella Windows and Doors are the leading brand among all others. A few reasons why. Pella is regarded as the highest quality, the most innovative, and the installers with Pella of Nashville lead the way for attention to detail. That's why Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is one of Pella's top locations in the country. For new doors or windows, I suggest you choose the experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Go to PellaNashville.com.
This year, celebrate with your loved ones at Kitchen Notes inside the Omni Nashville Hotel. Enjoy Southern farm-to-table dishes with an elegant touch that is only available from the Omni Nashville Hotel. Start with citrus poached shrimp and cocktail crab claws, then move quickly to the main menu featuring herb roast turkey and smoked prime rib. Plus, indulge in a variety of sides and breakfast items. Enjoy Thanksgiving with your friends and family at Kitchen Notes inside the Omni Nashville Hotel from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Make your reservation now at opentable.com.
I think we're lost again.
Wait, what does that sign over there say?
Caution wildlife crossing?
No, next to it.
If you're 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. Ouch, I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hi, what brings you to the clinic today?
Oh, the baby's not feeling well. I think she might have a fever.
Well, let's check her temp with the Exergen thermometer. You're right. These Exergen thermometers are very accurate. Reads 101.2.
Oh, gosh. Well, that Exergen thermometer sure is fast and easy to use.
Yes, and many doctors recommend Exergen for home use.
Exergen thermometers, backed by over 100 clinical studies, are available at Walgreens and participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
In any work environment, culture is the most important thing. And what makes up the culture? The people. Hey, this is General Manager Sean Ford with Cromwell Media. And this month, we have several celebrating their anniversary working with us. From our sales department, Nicola Spencer is celebrating 19 years. From engineering, Ted and Holly, 13 years. And Willie Donick with 102.5 The Game is celebrating 12 years with us at Cromwell Media. If you're looking for a new career, reach out to us at together@cromwellmedia.com. Love what you do, love where you work.
The Titans are 3-6 after losing to the Bucks.
I'm worried this is stunting the growth of the big picture here.
Can they rebound against Jacksonville?
You're not winning if the offensive line continues to play the way they have been playing.
Keep it locked to Nashville's best Titans talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chasing Big Joe Show, brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
I got a hot date tonight. Odd date. Dinner with Fred. Dinner alone. Watching TV alone. All right. I'm going to sit at home and ogle the ladies in the Victoria's Secret catalog. Sears catalog.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Your silly underdog picks for a chance to win weekly prizes. You can play at thegamenashville.com or the 102.5 The Game app as we approach Week 12 of college football and Week 11 of the National Football League. Silly Underdog Picks is presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Chasing Big Joe, presented by Regal Realty Group. We are live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 140 3rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. They will open to the public at 11.
Yes.
So come by then. I expect a line out the door at 11 o'clock to come and get a handshake from me and a hug from Big Joe.
That's right. And I'm wearing skinny jeans today, so you can comment on the skinny jeans. Our ticket giveaways, Blackhawks versus Preds is Saturday, and the Flyers versus the Preds on December the 12th as well. And Robbie Stanley's weighed in on our little
He has. He texted us both and said, I accept.
Yeah, so again, when Tennessee beats Georgia on Saturday, Rexrode and Robbie are going to treat us to lunch here at Black Tap. If Georgia happens to win, which we don't think they will, then we will treat Robbie and Rexrode to lunch here at Black Tap. Vols fans, let me hear from you. Are chasing out a limb on this? Do you not have faith in your football team? At 615-737-1025, because I really think Tennessee beats Georgia on Saturday. Georgia's had 2 road games this year. Auburn and some Missouri, where it was. They have yet to walk in an environment like Neyland Stadium. They have yet to walk in. I mean, somebody said, well, Jordan Hare's loud. I get that.
So would you say, do you think they're battle-tested?
Georgia.
Yes. I mean, Auburn's a pretty tough environment to play in.
It is.
And I know that Auburn, like Tennessee right now, is in a different stage of their development than Auburn.
Sure. Yeah.
But a tough place to play is still a tough place to play. It doesn't matter.
It is, and they took them to the wire.
Right.
So do you think Tennessee's better than Auburn?
Yes.
Absolutely. And so you put that raucous environment in Neyland on Saturday, and I think Tennessee plays their best game of the year. And Rexrode had a good comment. He's like, if they played better against Missouri, I'd feel better about that. I totally agree with you on that. But just something that if Heupel can preach to these guys like this, you're going to knock off Georgia. I know they're going to the SEC championship game, but you could knock them off and derail their season. It would be fantastic.
Because here's what you do. Here's what could happen. So I'll go ahead and say this now. Georgia's not beating Alabama. Alabama is winning the SEC.
I got you. I'm with you on that one, too.
So if Tennessee wins this weekend and then they lose to Alabama, the mighty Georgia Bulldogs now have 2 losses.
Hello.
They're not making the playoffs.
Hello, Outback Bowl.
Or Sugar Bowl, probably.
Something like that.
Whatever. I don't even know what the semifinal bowls are.
So Georgia gets knocked out. If Tennessee beats Georgia, Georgia drops out of the top 4, right?
They're out.
Yeah,
they're out. Washington moves in, so it would be. And again, like if I'm Kirby Smart, he is using, like he saw that their number 1 last night, probably went, damn it, like he liked it when they were number 2,
right?
You know, because it's like chip on our shoulder. We can use that, but now you don't have that, but. I did love that his press conference yesterday. He got up there and goes, "Yeah, we haven't practiced well. We've had a bad couple of days of practice." I'm like, that is such a Nick Saban tactic.
Oh yeah, get the guys fired up. Josh in the text line says UT doesn't stay within 20. Neyland is a joke. All right, look, I'm not a Tennessee football fan by any means.
Why is Neyland a joke, Josh?
Yeah, I don't
explain
get
that.
Yeah,
have you ever been?
It's not a joke. Adam Portland, Georgia about 25. Kirby's a stud. I hate his guts, but he's a stud and the best coach in the country. B-Man says, I called it yesterday, go Vols. Yeah, exactly on that. I just think I don't know. You look, I know Georgia ran over Ole Miss on Saturday, and I watched it. I get that. But, man, this is something on Saturday.
8-9-7-0. Milton airs it out, and all 3 running backs score this weekend. Georgia's overlooking in Tennessee the way Tennessee did to Missouri.
I see that. Possible.
You think Tennessee overlooked Missouri? You think they were looking ahead?
I think Missouri's a very good football team.
That's what I think too. I just think they got outplayed.
Everything.
Outplayed,
so
outcoached.
Now you're mad.
I mean, it was. I would dare to say, from a grading coaching standpoint, was probably Josh Heupel's worst.
Pretty bad
since he's been at Tennessee.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They've lost every road game. Double digits. Is that what I read? That I was told? That's what I've been informed. So, again, you put everything aside this Saturday. The loss to Alabama, the loss to Florida, loss to Missouri. You beat Georgia on Saturday. You go 8-3, and you knock that team off and out of the perch at number 1. I'll tell you again, not every week does the number 1 team in the country come into your stadium. You got the opportunity now, Tennessee, and then what are you going to do with it?
Caleb, y'all shouldn't read nonsense like that on the radio. Factually, one of the loudest places in the country. Oh, I agree.
No,
look,
we got to read nonsense
look,
like that.
Caleb, nonsense is the reason we have a show. We're full of nonsense.
Yeah,
That's what we are. But no, I look, Neyland Stadium, and this is my favorite. And Josh, I'm going to pick on you for a second because you started this, and now you're texting again. Been to Neyland many times. You won't be singing Rocky Top after the first quarter. Come on, guys. Okay, fine. That's fine. But I love, and this is SEC fan on SEC fan crime.
Yes.
It's like, your stadium sucks. My stadium's better. And it's like, just give credit where credit is due sometimes. I mean, like, Neyland is one of the loudest, best atmospheres in college football, and anybody in college football will tell you that. Just like they'll say the same thing about Alabama, just like they'll say the same thing about LSU, just like they'll say the same thing about the Swamp in Florida. Auburn.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Georgia's, I mean, Athens is very, very loud, but Georgia's got to go on the road this Saturday, and I think Tennessee knows what's at stake and gets the job done. Plus, I want a free lunch from Robbie and Rexo here at Black Tap.
Yes. Again, live today at Black Tap Burgers and Beer. We're doing our show, and then we'll be here until 1 o'clock with your chance to win some great prizes. So looking forward to that. We're going to talk to the GM here in a little bit as well. But up next, our man John McClain going to join us from Houston. We'll talk the NFL with him. It's Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
They're homegrown in Nashville, discussing the biggest topics in the SEC.
The fans are going to want the rivalries to stick around. They've lost to Alabama every year.
The NFL.
What if all the top three quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3? You've got to draft your guy at 2.
And anything in between.
From thinking we know everything to then forgetting about everything we thought we knew the day before.
They're Jonathan Hutton and Chad Withrow on Outkick's Hot Mic.
Out of the gates, ready to go.
Weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
Whatever your destination in life, you can get there easier with a checking account from F&M Bank. At F&M, our checking accounts give you the tools you need to manage your money well, like our smart free checking account that's actually free. Because sometimes the basics are more than enough, making lives better by making banking easier. Come see us at one of our branches or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. It's getting colder quickly, and a lot of you are probably firing up the heater for the first time this season. If your system is older or having lots of issues keeping your home warm already, it's probably time for an HVAC replacement. There's no better time to replace your system than right now. Hiller is having their biggest sale ever on select HVAC systems. Get up to $2,600 off a new system until November 15th. This is the biggest discount they've had in years. That's Hiller. Call the Happy Face truck today.
Predators fans, Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse 100 in Bellevue, and Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue are 102.5 The Game's official home for Predators watch parties. Catch all the games at Brewhouse and enjoy great specials on Blue Note Bourbon and Black Abbey beer.
Get in on the conversation at 615-737-1025. The Game text line is driven by Wilson County Hyundai. Online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com.
Nashville's Best Deals is a great place to save cash fast. Get up to half off or more on dining and entertainment at thegamenashville.com/deals. Check back often for new featured deals and save money now at thegamenashville.com/deals.
One of the most influential metal bands of all time. For the fans, for the brothers, for legacy. Pantera. Friday, February 9th, Bridgestone Arena. With special guests, Lamb of God. On sale this Friday, 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Pantera, live in concert.
You've heard of AI. We want you to know that some messages and content we broadcast is produced using AI. All content produced or written with AI is supervised by our staff before airing. AI is only a tool for all of us, and we use it for that purpose. You can be assured that we will not use AI in any way that is unworthy of your trust.
I'm sorry, excuse me one second. Hello?
Hey, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, gee, I can't talk right now. Why don't you give me your home number and I'll call you later?
615-737-1025.
Oh, I guess you don't want people calling you at home.
Sponsored by Wilson County Hyundai.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. We're live today. Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 140 3rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. As we do every Wednesday at 9:30, we say hello to John McClain from Houston. You can follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. Does a lot with Sports Radio 610 in Houston. That's where he appears and writes. John, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you for asking.
Let's start with the big news of the day. A quarterback that you covered for many, many years, Deshaun Watson, now with the Browns, going to undergo season-ending shoulder surgery. He is done, and so I guess that means no return to Houston.
Yeah, I feel bad for any player that suffers an injury, especially a season-ending injury. Texans play the Browns late in the season, and just like they do the Titans. And Watson's had a lot of injuries. I believe I just read he's been paid $90 million. One story said 11 games, the other one said 12, and now he's out for the year. And if anybody's had shoulder surgery like I did, you talk about being a pain, just the inconvenience, and it's going to be a long rehab for him. And they say, well, he'll be fine for next season. Hopefully he will be. But the Texans have their first-round pick as the last part of the trade for 3 number ones and multiple other picks. So obviously they want the Browns to lose games. And right now, Andrew Berry, the general manager, is getting a lot of grief because he let Joshua Dobbs get away. And he looked real good in the lineup based on what he's done with the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But how I know the owners and, like, the contract looked bad the moment that they signed it and the moment that they announced it. Like, what are you doing, like, with the contract that they gave Deshaun Watson? But now it looks even worse with the fact that he can't stay on the field. And so what do you think? Is there going to be backlash at all from the other owners towards the Haslams and the Browns because of this? Or is it just one of those things where you chalk it up as a dumb contract and you move on?
It's chalked up as a dumb contract and you move on because the time for complaining was when they did it. There still is not a fully guaranteed contract for skill and injuries like that. The quarterback's getting so much in signing bonus money. It's amazing. Somebody's going to pass him soon. And the reason Cleveland paid all that money, there were 4 teams that Watson would agree to be traded to. He had a no-trade clause in the extension that he had signed here. So the first team he ruled out was Cleveland. And nothing against the Browns, but he had played 1 game up there, and the weather was horrendous, and he threw for like 40 yards. And it was the wind. It was in November. And so with the stadium being right on the lake, you're almost always going to have wind, even if the conditions are great. So he ruled them out. And then it came down to Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans. And so the Browns went back and said, okay, we really want this guy. Eventually, all of his civil suits, all of that, people won't be talking about it. You got to weather the initial storm, but we want him. What can we do? Now, I think, and I can never prove this, that they contacted his agent without going through the Texans, which would have been illegal, to tell him what they were willing to do. And the reason I think that, afterward, a pick that they had, say it was the 5th rounder, was elevated to the 4th round without explanation. And I think the GM, Nick Caserio, said, okay, we'll let that slide. We won't complain to the league, but we want this. And we speculated about it at the time in the media here, and they said nothing. So they came up with a contract, $230 million, 5 years, fully guaranteed, and they took a backlash, and they took it all through the first season when he wasn't playing, and now the controversy had quieted, and it was all about the injuries. But he has gotten a lot of grief from fans and media up there for being injured, even when it's legitimate injuries.
Wow, we're talking to the great John McClain this morning on the Chase and Big Joe show. John, a lot of talk in Nashville here is about the porous offensive line. for the Tennessee Titans and how just bad they played last Sunday against Tampa Bay. You've covered this franchise a long time. Do you ever remember an offensive line being this bad? I mean, you got guys like Munchak and Brad Hopkins or Bruce Matthews throughout the years, and now you got just this line they trot out there every Sunday, John, which is just awful.
To get in position to draft those guys you just mentioned, Joe, you got to be really bad. And they were really bad. Between 1981 and 1986, now, Titans fans should listen and think, if you had to go through something like this, they never won more than 6 games. And the highlight of the year was the draft. So they started stockpiling linemen. And they used the first-round pick on an offensive lineman, Munchak in 82, Matthews in 83, Dean Steinkuhler in 84. They used the first pick in the second round in 82 and tackle Harvey Salem. The idea was to build up the offensive line for running back Earl Campbell. And then one of the reasons Warren Moon signed with the Oilers over the Seahawks, besides getting the biggest contract in history, 5 years, $5 million, was because they had been putting the great talent together up front. So he thought, well, this is going to be a good place to go with all these young studs up front, and I'll be able to play a long time. And so you can't do it all overnight. You know, they got Skoronski. I don't know how many of the other guys up front, but it's strange because if you don't have an offensive line, you can't run block, you can't protect the quarterback, and they saw that against the Buccaneers. When I saw Derrick Henry average 2.2 yards a carry, I was astonished. And, I feel bad for Levis, of course. He's trying to learn. He's trying to develop. He's under a lot of pressure. He's going to learn lessons. When it comes to the lessons he's learning now will serve him well. You learn from the bad as well as the good. And I feel bad for the coaches, I feel bad for the fans, and I feel bad for the media because if you don't get it done up front, it affects the entire team.
Absolutely. John, closer to home, the Houston Texans, and you've talked about this a while. I mean, nobody predicted them to do this. I mean, you're there, you see them every day. Not even you predicted them to do this, but the confidence, and then you'd watch C.J. Stroud, who, John, it feels like he's been in the league 5 years. I mean, he's put up some amazing numbers, and now the young man's in the MVP consideration.
That's what people are talking about. And now, no rookies won MVP since the great running back Jim Brown in 57. Wow. So he's sixth in Vegas. So he's not going to win MVP. But just the fact people are talking about it is exciting for people here. And he had a great game against Tampa Bay. They scored 39. He took them to the winning touchdown drive in 40 seconds, starting on his 25. In this one, they had blown a 27-17 lead in the last 3 minutes. He gets the ball, takes them to the winning field goal drive. But in the game before that, he thrown for a season-low 140 yards and lost to Carolina on a field goal as time expired. The Texans' last 2 losses have been on field goals on the road as time expired. They won this game over Cincinnati on the road on a field goal as time expired, and they won the previous game with 6 seconds left. So Stroud is being put through the ringer here, and he's learning. And it was interesting because after the loss to Carolina, he said, I would like to have more explosive plays. I'd like to throw the ball down the field. And that reminded me, in 1986, the Oilers and Warren Moon were wasting him trying to run the ball. And he spoke up. And he said, I can, what he actually said, he told me off the record, but he didn't. He said, I can be a bitch if they just let me start throwing the ball. So the general manager told the coach, Jerry Glanville, we're going to pay him all his money to hand off. We want him to throw the ball, and they did, and the rest was history, and that's kind of the way it's been here. They lead the league in explosive plays. Stroud is making guys like Noah Brown, who came from Dallas and had one game in his career of more than 90 yards. He's had 155 and 172 in the last game. Their offense has been prolific. They finally had a good game running the ball. Devin Singletary, who started the last 3.5 years for the Bills, and they got him on a 1-year contract. He ran for a career high 150 yards on 30 carries. I think the Bills could probably use him. So they've got it going well right now, but they got Arizona coming in with Kyler Murray. They have 3 home games in a row. Then they had the Jaguars there, and they beat Jacksonville by 20 in Jacksonville, and then Denver. So they're at home 3 in a row, and they better not overlook the Cardinals because that Jacksonville game is going to be big because Texans have a chance to sweep them.
John McClain is with us from Houston. SportsRadio610.com is where you can find his work. We'll have more with John coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Blue Raider football lives on 93.3 Classic Hits.
Hey, it's Big Joe. Chip Walters and I will have the call this Saturday as MTSU wraps up their home schedule against UTEP. Our coverage begins at 12:30.
Your home for the Blue Raiders is 93.3 Classic Hits.
It's the Electronic Express Black Friday Savings Marathon. Every Sunday means hot new deals. Get the gifts you want and save up to 50% throughout the entire store. Get a TCL 65-inch 4K TV now only $349, plus other hot deals. At Electronic Express, dream big, pay small with up to 36 months special financing on deals like a Frigidaire kitchen package only $15.99 or a Microsoft Surface Pro 9 now only $8.99. Shop the Black Friday Savings Marathon at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Hal Gill here for my good friends at Dunkin'. I get my Dunks every morning. I grew up with Dunkin' in Boston, and it's been my favorite ever since. Fall in love with Dunkin's pumpkin coffee, lattes, muffins, and donuts. Made with their signature high-quality coffee, each sip and bite is sure to delight. Perfect for those cool autumn mornings or as a sweet treat any time of day. You won't be able to resist the delicious pumpkin flavor. Get pumped for pumpkin. Stop by Dunkin' today.
Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning is a locally owned and operated gym located off Lebanon Pike in Hermitage. Hey guys, it's Big Joe, and Competitive Edge is my gym, and they've made a huge impact in my life. Competitive Edge offers everything you want in a gym. Great rates, best personal trainers, super motivational, high energy workouts, clean and organized, great family atmosphere, and they offer a ton of great classes like my favorite, cardio boxing, which has changed my life. Competitive Edge is open 7 days a week, and they're ready for you to join. Make sure you go check them out and tell them Big Joe sent you.
People of all ages can experience spine pain. What hurts the most is what it does to your life, making simple activities feel like an uphill battle. Houston Clinic Orthopedics and their team of specialists aim to get you back to your active and enjoyable life. Let Houston Clinic Orthopedics bring lasting relief if you're suffering from any of the following: spinal stenosis, herniated discs, sciatica, degenerative disc disease, and more. To experience world-class orthopedic care, visit tn.houston.com, where experience matters. Genesis Diamond's biggest and last sale of the year is here this weekend. It's an extraordinary event with savings up to 35% store-wide. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, nothing's held back for this once-a-year 3-day store-wide event. Acclaimed designers are here with expanded collections and special pricing. Plus, get 0% interest financing. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes included. Lab-grown diamonds included. It's this Friday, Saturday, and yes, even open Sunday for this incredible event. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
All the big plays.
Rebound, try out in front, and Saros covers it up.
All the big stories.
Andrew Burnett reportedly hired as the next head coach of the Predators.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
Checkered flag is in the
Comparing goalies to running backs.
46-27 Vanderbilt.
Does this group of players need more?
The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Does your father know you're working here?
It was his idea.
In that case, I'll have a whiskey sour.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Big Joe live today. Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman Building. They open at 11. Come by and see us. we'll be giving away some great prizes as well. Continuing our conversation with John McClain, sportsradio610.com in Houston. And, John, last week we talked to you about this whole Mike Vrabel to New England and Belichick and that whole thing and what may happen there. And, while I think Belichick could be on his way out, I think we all agree that Mike Vrabel is likely to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans next year. But that certainly brings up the talk of, well, what if it does happen? Who would replace him? And a name that keeps coming up not only here but around the league is Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. What has been your impression of him? Obviously the offense looking really good with C.J. Stroud, but in your dealings with him, what's been your impression to this point?
Well, first of all, Chase, I don't believe for a minute Mike Vrabel's going anywhere, knowing how Amy Adams Strunk thinks of him. And even if Mike called her up and said, hey, Amy, I want to go to New England, which I doubt he would, she's not going to let him go. And because she likes him and thinks he's a great coach, and we all know the issue is talent. But based on the scenario you said, Bobby Slowick worked with his dad, Bob Slowick, was a longtime defensive coordinator in the NFL. And Bobby was a defensive assistant working with Mike Shanahan in Washington. That's how he got to know Kyle Shanahan. And when they got fired and Kyle went to Cleveland and Atlanta and San Francisco, Bobby spent 3 years working with Pro Football Focus, watching tape constantly. And he told us that experience was great for him. So then when Kyle Shanahan gets the head coaching job, two guys he calls up, Bobby Slowick to be a defensive assistant, and D'Amico Ryans to be a defensive assistant. So after watching Slowick on defense, I did a column on Kyle about this after the Texans hired Ryans and Slowick, and he said, I thought he would do great on offense, so I stole him from the defense. And I said, well, you're a head coach. You don't have to steal anything. He said, but I kind of felt bad about it. But he did it. He thought it was great for him to do that. And he became Kyle Shanahan's right-hand man. Last year he was the passing game coordinator, and Shanahan told me, he said, last year was the best offensive season I've ever had. I said, better than Atlanta when you went to the Super Bowl? And he said, yes. And he said it was not a coincidence that Bobby had most of his more responsibilities and more influence and game plans and everything on our offense than he'd ever had. He and D'Amico Ryans became best friends. They had a pact. The first one that got a job would take the other one as the coordinator. And so Slowick's only been a coordinator for 1 year. Generally, you don't hire people after one season. I'm thinking he'll be here 2 years, and then he'll be gone. But there's no doubt he's going to be a head coach. Kyle Shanahan, he's guaranteed me, he said he will be a head coach. It's just a matter of when and where.
So you kind of answered my question, but you don't buy the whole – because we saw Vrabel be a coordinator for a year, and then he became a head coach. And sometimes these guys are kind of doing the job of the coordinator without actually being the coordinator, and so they get that title to get more notoriety to then become the head coach. You still think he's maybe a year out? Absolutely, because this is the first time he's ever called plays. You see a situation like Nathaniel Hackett with the Jets. When he was with the Packers, Matt LaFleur called all the plays. Then he goes to Denver as a head coach, tries to be a play caller. He's terrible. Jets hiring for Aaron Rodgers. He's terrible. Rodgers is trying to defend him, but he's not a good play caller. Now, it might help if he had Rodgers at quarterback, but guys need to prove themselves as play callers. And Shanahan said, he wanted Slowick to stay. If money was an issue, and Slowick said, I need to call plays. Kyle Shanahan calls all the plays with the 49ers. He said, I need to be a play caller. I need to know what it's like to succeed and fail as a play caller and make adjustments. And that was a really smart move, and none of us had any idea the Texans would already have won 5 games, which they haven't won since 2019, and he is a big, big reason for it. And the guy I would assume that when he leaves would take his place as their quarterback coach, who spends more time with C.J. Stroud than anybody, Gerard Johnson, who'd been a number 2 quarterback coach with the Vikings and came here. He's from Houston.
in Texas A&M, and he is very highly thought of too. Like the 49ers lose so many coaches, they always have people who know the system ready to step up, and I think Slowick will get it. He may get interviews this year. D'Amico Ryan's got interviews after 1 year as a coordinator and said, I need another year. And another guy that did that was Kevin O'Connell, and there was somebody else. Now, Mike Tomlin was a coordinator for a year, and that's worked out pretty well. Brandon Staley, coordinator for a year, been a disaster based on the potential that the Chargers have. So you have to be very careful about it. And Vrabel did, but Mike had played a big role. The fact that he played for the Patriots and won Super Bowls and always wanted to be a head coach, used to sit with Belichick after practice and learn from him about being a head coach. Their linebacker, Ted Johnson, who's a friend of mine, told me, he said Vrabes, when he was playing, he looked at Vrabel and he said, Vrabes is going to be a head coach, and everybody in this building knows it. It's just a matter of when. And he thought at the time it could be in college, like if Ohio State needed a head coach. But everybody knew Vrabel would be a head coach. And I got one more Vrabel story. After Bill O'Brien's first season here in 2014, they finished 9-7. And I asked him after the season, off the record, of all the coaches you got, if you started a new staff with one, who would it be? And I thought it'd be Romeo Crennel, one of the all-time best defensive coordinators. And he said, Vrabel. I said, why? He said, the guy's a great coach. He knows everything. He's learned from Belichick. He's played. He said he's going to be a head coach. He's going to be a damn good one. So that's the first time I paid attention to Mike having a chance to be a head coach. And then in 17, despite them having a bad season because Watson got hurt, the John Robinson hired him, and they were reunited after being together with the Patriots.
John, let's talk about the Bills for a second. They fired offense coordinator Ken Dorsey midseason. You've covered this league a long time. When that happens, there's deeper problems than just the OC. Has the Bills' window officially closed, or do they have just a little bit of something left?
People were down on – I remember 2 years ago, people were talking about Dorsey as a head coaching candidate, and when Dable went to the Giants, it was a natural elevation, and people were fired up about it. And I thought when I heard there's breaking news about the Buffalo Bills, it's going to be the special teams coach getting fired after that inexcusable too many people on the field, too many guys on the field for a field goal that was no good, and then they got another chance and won it. The Bills are discombobulated. Like in that game, they ran the ball, they ran it well, the backs fumbled, and then they got away from it. It's like they put so much pressure on Josh Allen. He forces passes. Guys with great arms a lot of times force passes into tight coverage, and a lot of times it results in interceptions, and that's what's happened with Allen. He's taking a beating. Maybe they'll rally around him. I don't think the window's closed. Key is, will they bounce back and make the playoffs? Will they not? And Sean McDermott, will he get fired? And they want to bring in an offensive coach to try to make sure they correct the problem while Josh Allen can still walk.
Right. John, isn't it crazy how a little bit of a cultural change can do wonders for a football team? And I mentioned that because the Las Vegas Raiders, John, look completely different than Antonio Pierce now. They look fired up. They look passionate. And I'm a big fan now of not only Antonio Pierce, but just that team because they've rallied around this coach. Have you ever seen anything like this mid-season where a team just plays like a complete 180 from what you saw earlier?
I have, Joe. Sometimes it happens immediately, and then they realize who they are. The thing about this, there's two reasons this has happened. They got rid of McDaniels. I mean, the players hated him. It's just like when he got fired in Denver. He tries to be Bill Belichick, and he doesn't have the pelts on the wall to do it. And he's never going to be a head coach again, at least not in the NFL. So that was number one. The dark cloud was lifted. Number two, and this doesn't take a genius, for whatever reason, they weren't running the NFL's leading rusher from last year, and they weren't getting the ball to their best receiver. So all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs is getting the ball. He's averaged 100 yards in the 2 games. The other day, they got Devontae Adams, I think, 6 completions in the first half. So they're doing things that common sense tells you to do, and for whatever reason, Josh McDaniels didn't do it.
He is John McClain from sportsradio610.com in Houston. John, appreciate it. As always, we'll talk next week.
Guys, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Cheers, and Joe, I hope you have a great rest of the week. Thank you.
Absolutely. He's John McClain, and always the best talking to him about the NFL, both past and present.
We got a history. I had no idea that Jim Brown was the last rookie, the only rookie to ever win MVP back in 1957. I love little things like that, finding out. And so it's a knowledge and history lesson with John McClain every single time.
I want to talk coaches in the NFL coming up next because I always think this exercise is an interesting one. And I know you have some interesting tidbits about some former coaching staffs as well.
The 2013 Washington Redskins staff, if you don't know this story, this is unbelievable. But, yeah, We'll get you that. We're live today at Black Tap Burgers and Craft Beer downtown Nashville. We're here till we're here all day. We're here. We got giveaways going on. A lot of good things. Stop by. The doors open 11 o'clock today, and Chase will be here with giveaways and hugs.
Yes, we will. 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman Building, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Original Tennessee Titan and living legend Zach Pillar is new to Instagram, and he wants you to follow him. Go to Instagram right now and follow at Zach Pillar Design 69 for some fun giveaways and to keep up with all of his life's updates, past and present. Zach Pillar is working on some exciting new projects and is doing great work in the community and wants to welcome you to his world. Won't you come in? Follow Zach on Instagram and tune into the Chase and Big Joe show every Tuesday at 10:30 to hear from Zach Pillar live on 102.5 The Game.
All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Now, your Game Center update.
This is Nick Keiser. The Tennessee Titans are now 3-6 on the year after a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Paul Kaharski from paulkaharski.com was on with Robbie and Rexroad this morning discussing the effort coming from this team.
I see some body language that suggests to me they're not necessarily playing, super hard. I'm not buying the effort is impeccable thing any longer. And he basically said that on Monday. Well, you don't get exceptional effort from everybody on every play.
And Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson has suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in the first quarter against the Ravens on Sunday and is headed to the injured reserve. Ian Rappaport says it's a displaced fracture in his right glenoid and will have surgery to repair it. And up in Buffalo, the Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey was relieved of his duties yesterday after the Bills lost to the Denver Broncos on Monday evening. And the Tennessee men's basketball team won 82-61 last night over Wofford. And the Vols have now scored 80 points or more in 3 straight games to start their season. Number 7 Tennessee has now started the 23-24 season 4-0. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers. 102.5 and 106.3.
And the score!
You can run different offenses.
The doors on the board.
Off the field, on the field.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Let me talk to you. Talking what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Jason Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin. Brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, live today. Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. Come by and see us starting at 11. JoJo's going to be giving away some stuff. You got to come down here and sign up. You don't have to be present to win, but you got to come down here and sign up and enter for Preds tickets to an upcoming home game, Black Tap gift cards, and more. Joe, awesome to be here.
Yeah, it's a great time to be here. The food's great. The milkshakes are great. It's a lot of fun. Doors open at 11. Best happy hour around, but the best burger they've got going on. So Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, come down and see us, and we'll have a good time.
Yes, we will indeed. So talking coaches with John McClain kind of made me think, and I know you've got something that you have found that has you all excited over here. So I'll let you go to that in a second.
Sounds like my mom said when I was 3 years old, but no.
but I 3, really?
Yeah, I was all excited. 3. Mom, I found something.
But I was looking at the standings in the NFL and just kind of thinking, like, all right, what coaches are out? You know, just go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and make predictions of coaches that I think are going to be out.
Okay, NFL-wise.
NFL.
All right.
NFL. I think Belichick's going to be out. I think they're probably going to frame it as a retirement or whatever, you know. But I think the Patriots will have a new head coach.
I think he stays. Okay.
And I think it'll be Gerard Mayo. They're not going to get Vrabel, so I think it'll be Mayo.
Okay.
That's that one. The AFC North, I would have said Stefanski probably going into the year was the one that was going to be on the hot seat. Now that Watson's hurt, that probably buys him time, and that division's so close. I mean, they're still right there in it, even without Watson. So I'll say nobody there. I think the South stays status quo. I think Vrabel's back here for another year. I think Staley's out in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Obviously, the Raiders already have an opening. Broncos are starting to show signs of life, so that experiment might work.
Yeah.
But I think, obviously, the Raiders are looking for a coach. I think the Chargers will be looking for a coach as well.
I think Pierce gets that job.
I think Pierce probably does get that job.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, I will contend that Mark Davis made a very bad mistake by not going with Bisaccia. Rich Bisaccia. How do you say his name? Well,
sure.
When he was the
I think
interim.
I got that at Panera yesterday.
He was the
Bisaccia,
interim.
yes, with a
Thank
B.
you. He was the interim after Gruden, and I thought he did a job.
Yeah.
He should have gotten that job, but he didn't.
Owners are their competent level sometimes is not where it needs to be or should be. But yeah, I'd love to see Pierce. I like the way the Raiders are playing right now. I think that's great. I think Pierce has done a great job. He brings that former player mentality. The guys love him. They rally around him. And then you go from the awful Josh McDaniels to that. So it's good.
Yep. I think looking at the NFC, I think Riverboat Ron's going to be out after this year. New owner.
Yeah. I see
New
that.
owner.
Yep.
Ron Rivera, I think, is a good coach, but I know they don't have a quarterback, but they just can't seem to find it. Now, every time people say that, they hit the midway point and then they find some magic. But
It
I think
teases you to the next year. And
Right.
You're disappointed.
so. I think he's definitely a candidate to be out. If the Cowboys don't make a run, then I could see McCarthy out too.
Okay, that's interesting. Let me ask you this. All right, you got any more? You're gonna get fired here?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple more.
Give me 4 more.
Matt LaFleur, think he's out?
I
think he's out.
Okay.
I'm saying I think he's out. I think Matt Eberflus, that has been a terrible experiment in Chicago. I think he's going to be out. I was going to say Dennis Allen in New Orleans, but that division is so winnable right now,
right,
that there is a chance that he wins the division and therefore keeps his job.
For the Bears, you need a name that fits the city, right? Like Ditka.
Yeah.
Ditka fit that. Lovie Smith, was
Yeah.
a great. It was kind of endearing. Eberflus just doesn't.
No, and I've talked to Ryan Porth is in Chicago, and he's told me some stories of how he is with the media and like.
Oh my goodness.
Stuff like that. Unfortunately, I think Arthur Smith is going to be out in Atlanta.
They're not good.
They're not, and I know Arthur Blank likes him a lot, but they're just.
That'd be some Arthur on Arthur crime.
It would be. You're proud of that, aren't you?
I really am. I just came up with it.
I think, and I think that's it for firings.
Okay.
I think there's a chance Pete Carroll could retire, but
he's having fun.
He's having fun, so
that team's
I don't
not
know.
bad. They'll be here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So Chaser, here's Dr. Crane. You can weigh in on this right now. What NFL franchise has fired more head coaches than anybody else?
Washington.
Dr. Crane?
I don't know. I'm going to go with somewhere out west is what I'm thinking. I'm going to go the Arizona Cardinals.
My man. That's exactly it. In 99 seasons, they have fired 41 head coaches. Their longest
dating back to Chicago, yeah.
Their longest tenured coach is Ken Whisenhunt, who had a losing record. No team has ever gotten to 30 head coaches, and they have 42. Number 2 on the list is the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
They have fired 20 coaches in 59 seasons. That's a coach every 3 years. All right? Where did your precious Tennessee Titans, where do they rank? 6.
That sounds right, Bud. Like to fire coaches.
Their average coach's tenure is 3.1 season, which makes Fisher's 16, 15 years crazy. They've had 19 coaches in 59 seasons.
Wow.
Who was
the
idea.
So, but after Fisher, was Bum Phillips the longest tenured?
Maybe Pardee was. I don't know. But the one team that's fired the least amount of coaches. Dr. Crane, go.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's easy.
That would be incorrect. It would
Really?
be the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay. But
they've had 3 coaches since 1995.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Don't you better shut your mouth, Chase.
Yeah, but they haven't been around like that. I know they were the Browns. But
who's number? Okay, if you don't go to the Ravens, who's after that then?
Is least amount of head coaches fired?
Yep.
The Steelers.
The Cowboys. 8 coaches in 59 seasons. Tom Landry was the longest. Isn't that crazy?
Well, haven't the Steelers only had
Steelers were awful in the 40s, 50s, and 60s before Chuck Noll got there. They were absolutely an awful franchise.
But then it's been Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin.
The Vikings are now third. Yeah, it's been.
That's correct, Chase.
Chuck Noll, Cowher, Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Vikings are up there. They've had 9 coaches in 59 years. I had no idea about that.
I had no idea either.
They'll be fine. And
I thought they had 9 in 9 years.
The Bears have only had 16 coaches in 100 years.
Yeah.
All right, Panthers don't count. They've been there long enough. The Packers have had 17 coaches in 100 years.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the Steelers now. Now I'm on all right, Steelers are 26. They've had 16 coaches in 86 years. So you just.
But 3 in the last 30.
So it's always guaranteed that Arizona's going to fire somebody. The Jets fire somebody. I know that the Titans are up there that high. So, yeah. But, Arizona, just good job, Dr. Crane, figuring that out. But that's the thing is that these guys just, franchises going to fire coach. The Jets are up there, too.
Where's Cleveland?
It's in Ohio.
I know, but
it's about 10 hours.
Where the well, but see here, this is 99. But I'd be curious since 99 of where they would be.
Hey, why don't you give me some of that Nuggies? Andy Reid. Why does that commercial make me laugh every
It makes
time?
me laugh every time.
So goofy. Let's see. I'm keep going. Are you doing okay today, buddy?
I'm good. How are
to
you?
See you. New England's been
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Trying to find Cleveland. The England's
Well, you just said it was like 10 hours away.
Yes, right. Got my old GPS out. Let's see here. There we go. Cleveland's 12th. They've had, let's see here, they've had 21 coaches in 70 seasons. That's just crazy.
So they do. Okay, that's right. They count. But how many of those since 99? That's what I want to know.
About how many quarterbacks that they've had since 99. Well, it goes on there. But yeah,
Tim
that's
Couch,
the thing.
Kelly Holcomb.
Bobby Hoyer.
Yep. Okay.
There's that one guy's got the shirt. He's got like 14 quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks on the back of his shirt.
Yep.
Everybody that's been up there as well.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, if you can name all of the starting quarterbacks for the Browns since 1999, you should win something.
You should win.
I forget where I saw the picture, but there was a franchise. I want to say it was a team that had red colors, but there was one franchise that had a quarterback that wore the same number after drafting multiple quarterbacks, and somebody just kept using duct tape and just putting in new names after new names every season.
That's a good. It might have been the Chiefs because I feel like they had a string of quarterbacks that all wore like 7.
It might have been.
Or 12.
They had Trent Green for a while, Alex Smith.
Brody Croyle.
Yep, Brody Croyle. I forgot about him.
Goodness. Yeah, they went through some for a while, and they went through coaches.
They did.
Romeo Crennel and who was that idiot that was
Haney.
Todd Haley. Todd Haley, yeah.
Idiot. Then they got
Vrabel played for him.
They did. That's right. 2009, 2010. Then they got Nuggy Man came in there in 2013.
I think so.
14
right
in there.
I think 12 was his last year in Philly.
Yep. So he's done a fantastic job. Hey, we're still getting your on the text line about Tennessee, Georgia on Saturday. Tennessee fans, you're a little confident. I like it about what's going to happen on Saturday up in Neyland.
Yeah, keep them coming. 615-737-1025. We'll reset that. Also, Rick Stockstill joining us at the bottom of the hour. We're live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North. They open their doors at 11, so come by and see us. Our man Sean is over there. He's got the promo table set up. Going to give some stuff away and register you to win some Preds tickets. Their menu features award-winning craft burgers, wings, salads, and Instagram famous, just like Big Joe, Crazy Shake milkshakes. So come by and see us, 143rd Avenue North, just across the street from the Batman Building, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Green right, Fox 2 run, double K. He takes you inside the huddle through the eyes of a quarterback.
Wide 85, take!
Catch ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck every Tuesday at noon as he breaks down the big stories in the NFL.
Buffalo, maybe Miami.
And with the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans might be like, we're interested in a 1-year, $1 million contract.
Tim Hasselbeck is on Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably. Because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Predators fans, Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse Highway 100 in Bellevue, and Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue is your home for hockey action all season long. They are Predators approved and all the games are on, and they'll even give you the sound. Get awesome game day drink specials on Blue Note Bourbon and Black Abbey Beer. When you think hockey, think Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse Highway 100 in Bellevue, or Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue. Go Preds!
Need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt-free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit could get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Willie Donick here. Listen up. You've got a ton of equity in your home, and Loan Pronto can help turn that equity into cash to put it to use. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards or pay off personal loans. Start the home improvement project you've been looking for. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact. So your 3% rate is protected. Call right now, 615-499-5780. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards. 615-499-5780 or go online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Vanderbilt basketball lives here.
Hey, it's Kevin Ingram. It's Vanderbilt and Central Arkansas this Friday night. Join Tim Thompson and me starting at 5:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Sports Talk, the next generation. You're listening to The Chase and Big Joe Show. Make it so. On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, join Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Derek Mason at Twin Peaks and Cool Springs this Sunday from 9:30 to 11:30 for our NFL pregame show. They'll break down the Titans' Week 11 matchup against the Jags and give you the latest updates before the game. Pregame is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and the Beasts Unleashed. Chase and Big Joe, presented by Regal Realty Group. We are live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman Building. I am looking forward to trying the Tennessee Burger when we get off the air here.
Yeah, voted best original burger during Burger Week for Nashville Scene. That's a tough competition, too. So look forward to having that, too, at 11 o'clock. Again, stop by, say hi. We got Preds tickets we're going to give away. You don't have to be here to win, but you got to come in the door to register right next to the Batman Building, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Raymond in Franklin, who likes to take shots at me, says Chase is skipping the salad today and going right to the milkshake. You know what? I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. I'm not really a huge milkshake guy.
But are you a salad guy?
I am. I'm gonna probably eat the burger today, but I do like salads.
What kind of salad do you like?
Usually with chicken.
Okay.
Throw some vinaigrette on it. Maybe a
nice.
Caesar.
Caesar's good, yeah.
Italian.
Okay.
A few croutons.
Some croutons, yeah. Throw that on there. So no, Raymond, I am. I'm not going to have the milkshake. I might not have a salad, but
I bet you will have the milk. You'll have the milkshake.
I'll try it.
Black Tap. No,
I'll
you will try it.
Yeah.
Is it like a soupy thing to you? Is it just like a texture thing, or?
I'm not. I know I'm a bigger dude, and so you may assume that I eat a lot of ice cream and cakes and sweets and stuff, but I really don't.
But you've never had a Black Tap.
I have not. No, I'm
milkshake.
going to. I will try it.
Okay.
I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate milkshakes. they're not.
You'll have a couple, and you'll be having a sugar rush. Pass it on the floor.
Right.
We'll just step over you.
I'm not Darren. I'm not going to drink 5 or 6 in one sitting because Pete Weber keeps buying them for me. that's not how I roll.
Oh my goodness.
So Vols fans and non-Vols fans, and by the way, I want to 9165 says counting the Titans with the Oilers, but not the Ravens with the old Browns. The NFL, this comes up. The NFL, when was it Art Modell moved the Browns to Baltimore?
Correct.
Basically ruled that the history has to stay in Cleveland. And I think it was because of the manner in which he did it. And so they awarded Cleveland an expansion franchise to begin play in 1999 as the Cleveland Browns, but they got to inherit the history of the former Browns, and so Baltimore basically became a new franchise as the Ravens.
You are correct, sir.
So that is why it's confusing, but
not really.
But not really.
I get you. And then it's like, well, the Titans and the Oilers, same franchise.
But Adams
Same
tried to get a new stadium, couldn't because Houston hated him, and moved the team
God,
here.
they
And
did.
the NFL was basically like, let him move. We'll give you a team.
Yep.
And they moved the team here and was able to keep the history.
That's right.
The whole, and
simple.
we squashed this a few weeks ago. The whole thing with he agreed to change the name to keep the history. No, he changed the name because the fan base wanted their own name.
Yep.
And so he gave in to the fan base here.
Yeah.
To become the Titans.
Which I always thought was weird, but the Grizzlies never change their name to something
Well, the
more.
NBA, they don't do it. Like the Utah Jazz, how many jazz musicians do you know in Salt Lake?
Zero. Yeah, right. None. I just thought they'd always change it to have like.
Any
whatever.
well, I guess Charlotte has some Hornets, but.
Or the Bobcats, aren't they?
No. They were the Bobcats, and now they're back as the Hornets.
Are they?
Yeah.
God, I don't.
Because New Orleans was the Hornets and then changed to the Pelicans.
You know what's funny is that the NBA, I used to play fantasy basketball in the 90s, so I knew all those. And then Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning for the Hornets in the early 90s and Muggsy Bogues. Dale Curry's, Dale Curry was on the team. I mean, it was all those. It's fantastic. It was fun to watch. Funny story.
I like funny stories.
I used to bartend.
Ricky's not funny, but you're funny.
I used to bartend at the Bellevue Pub.
Okay.
Right? So I did the late
Mike
night
Blair.
shift. Yeah. Used to work there, bartended. I made the best slow gin fizz around. I used everything but gin. Anywho, so one night I was in a fantasy basketball league, and I needed Detlef Shrimp to score like 12 points to win a game, right? He played for the Supersonics. I was bartending late one night, and he scores 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm mad, and I say, that blank shrimp. There's a guy at the bar that says, what did you call me? True story. And I said, what? He's like, you just called me a shrimp. And I said, no, I'm talking about my fantasy basketball league. He throws a drink in my face. It's like there's like 3 people in the bar. I'm fighting this guy in the Bellevue Pub who ended up being like 5'5", who was sitting at the bar. This is a true story. This is March of 1995. And I'm fighting this guy in the bar. And nobody's around because he thought I called him a shrimp. And I needed Detlef Shrimp to score 12 points. It is the most bizarre, and I have witnesses. It's the most bizarre story. Try to fight me. I mean,
I'm not going to. I don't want to fight.
I wiped the floor with him because he's a little small guy. But it was just how it all happened is just insanity. So he got mad because he thought I called him a shrimp. And I was mad at Detlef Shrimp. He only scored 10 points. I needed 12. That's it. And that's a great story.
That is a great story.
True story, man. Bellevue Pub.
You probably knew a lot of people that I knew that worked for my dad.
Probably. The Bellevue Pub on Friday and Saturday, that karaoke,
Oh, yeah.
packed.
Yeah. I took karate next door.
Did
and
you?
So my mom would go and hang out in the pub while I was doing karate, or my dad. And then I'd get done and walk over and eat.
What year were you born?
87.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep. Yep.
That you're not my son.
Yep. No. I'm definitely not.
And the weather outside today is a bit brisk.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Kind of needed that.
The Bellevue Pub was a lot of fun back in the day. I had a lot of good times there.
Raymond now wants to split a milkshake with me. Well,
What's
you know,
going on
Raymond,
here?
come on.
It's like
come
Lady,
on down.
Lady in the Tramp kind of thing here with you
don't
two.
know what this
What in the world is going on here?
I feel like Raymond's going to walk in and be like, oh, it's you.
Yeah. Well, Raymond, if you come down the Black Tap today, when the doors open at 11, we're here till a little after 1 o'clock, Chase will buy you a milkshake. Guaranteed. Won't you, Chase?
I will.
Just say yes.
Yeah, I said I will. No, Wes in Hermitage says, Chase and Big Joe, can I suggest a place for you guys to set up and do a show? You'll fall in love with the ribs and chest pie. I can set it up for you if you would like out in Hermitage.
Is it his garage? Today we're all about Black Tap, baby.
Yeah, we are all about
Wes, why
Black
don't you
Tap.
come down the Black Tap and then Chase will buy you a milkshake. Chase's buying
milkshakes.
Chase's milkshake brings all the boys to Black Tap. I love it, Chase.
Oh, God.
Yes.
This is going to be a promo soon, isn't it? I don't remember where we were going to go with this, but the Vols, you and I think they win this weekend. We got a little bet with the morning show now that Robbie has accepted.
Haven't heard from the Bully Rexroad.
You probably –
He's got to go write some story about Vanderbilt soccer or something.
He's probably headed to Titans, and he'll get back to you.
Yeah. Us. We're a team, not you, us.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, Chase and I think that Tennessee beats Georgia. When that happens, Robbie and Rexroad, who made fun of us this morning on their show, on their little podcast, whatever thing they do in the morning.
The text line with Robbie and Rexroad. That's what Jared calls it, the text line.
Right. They think that we're crazy that Georgia wins. So we have a bet that when Tennessee beats them, they're going to take us to Black Tap for lunch. And if Georgia wins, we'll bring those guys to Black Tap downtown for lunch.
Coming up next, we'll talk to MTSU head football coach Rick Stockstill, coming off a big win last week in their last home game of the year. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
One is a legendary NFL wide receiver.
I gotta be prepared. I have to be ready.
One is a legendary Nashville voice.
You don't have to rely on carrying the ball 250 to 300 times.
And the other has been a legendary trash talker on the playground since the 4th grade.
Nobody is a Pro Bowler on day one of rookie minicamp.
They are Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. Weekdays at 11 on 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 no-danger first wager. That's right. When you place your first bet in Zen Sports, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to a $1,000 maximum if the bet loses. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 customer support and faster withdrawals like Zen Sports. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
Original Tennessee Titan and living legend Zach Pillar is new to Instagram, and he wants you to follow him. Go to Instagram right now and follow at Zach Pillar Design 69 for some fun giveaways and to keep up with all of his life's updates, past and present. Zach Pillar is working on some exciting new projects and is doing great work in the community and wants to welcome you to his world. Won't you come in? Follow Zach on Instagram and tune into the Chasing Big Joe show every Tuesday at 10:30 to hear from Zach Pillar live on 102.5 The Game.
Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning is a locally owned and operated gym located off Lebanon Pike in Hermitage. Hey guys, it's Big Joe. At Competitive Edge is my gym, and they've made a huge impact in my life. Competitive Edge offers everything you want in a gym. Great rates, best personal trainers, super motivational, high energy workouts, clean and organized, great family atmosphere, and they offer a ton of great classes like my favorite, cardio boxing, which has changed my life. Competitive Edge is open 7 days a week, and they're ready for you to join. Make sure you go check them out and tell them Big Joe sent you.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
Today's world is filled with many things that can push us to our limit. An upcoming move should not add to that list. Hey, it's Caroline Fenton. And when you choose Black Tie Moving like I did, you get a highly awarded Inc. 500 company. From the free estimate by a local professional moving consultant to the red carpet treatment, they take the stress out of the process. So visit blacktiemoving.com or call 615-437-8401. Mention GAME, G-A-M-E, to score 10% off your next move. Let Black Tie Moving make your next move the best move of your life.
Hey, we're all over social media. Give us a follow on Twitter at 1025 The Game. I'm at Chase on Game.
Yeah, catch me on MySpace at Big. We still have MySpace?
No, we're not. I told you.
Twitter. I had Big Joe on the go.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
3-3 Classic Hits this Saturday. MTSU football back in action. The Blue Raiders kick off at 1 against UTEP at home at Floyd Stadium. Chip Walters and Big Joe. We'll have the pregame for you starting at noon. Coverage also available on the 93.3 Classic Hits app and 93.3classichits.com. Chasing Big Joe live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman Building. And as we do every Wednesday at 10:30, we say hello to MTSU head football coach Rick Stockstill, who is with us. Coach, congrats on the win. I know that has to feel good. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks, Chase. Joe, how you guys doing?
We're fantastic. And, 40-6 at Floyd Stadium, you had the salute to the veterans. What does that do for just the confidence of a football team that, has had such an up-and-down type year like you all have had?
Well, I think the big thing, Chase, is that, as a coach, you talk about things and you work on things and you try to do everything you can to give your team the best opportunity to win. And that was really the most complete game we've played. It was really good complementary football. And I say this, and Joe was there, but, we punt the ball down to the 2-yard line. And 2 plays later, we get a safety, so we score points. Now they got a kick off from the 20. We get a return. We start on the plus 38, and ultimately we go down and score. So your kicking game put it at the 2, which enabled your defense to start in really good field position and ultimately got a safety. Now they got a kick off from the 20, and then you go down and score. So it's a prime example of, the offense, the defense, the kicking game, playing complementary football. And there's a lot of other scenarios similar to that in that game. But, we played really good complementary together football.
Coach, Saturday, you have said this before in talking to you. It is it's the best and worst day. It's senior day. You're proud of your seniors, but it's also tough because you got to say goodbye to guys who have given you everything. Does it ever get any easier on senior day?
No, it's that's kind of an emotional day, and senior day has changed so much here the last 2 or 3 years because of the portal. We got a couple guys that have been here 6 years. A couple guys have been here 2 years. A couple guys have been 3. A couple guys 1. So each one of them have, different amounts of sweat equity, so to speak.
Sure.
In what they've given to this program, but they've all given something, and it's a chance to just hug their neck one more time and just tell them how much you appreciate everything they did and the sacrifices that they made. And it's emotional for them because some of them will never play football again, they have another game after that, but, this would be their last, home game that they'll ever play a football game. So there's a lot of emotions that go into this day.
How do you remember your last home game under Bobby Bowden at Florida State?
I know we lost. We lost to Miami. I can't remember the score. But see, they didn't do that stuff back then. The seniors didn't walk out and all that kind of stuff like they do now. That wasn't invented back then.
Oh, wow. It should. Well, I'm glad they have it now because I know what these guys mean to you. Go back to game last Saturday night, Coach, and just I think I told you on the post-game show, the way your receivers ran after catching the football was simply fantastic because they made so many – and they scored touchdowns. They got a lot of yards. You had to be awfully proud of how your receivers played Saturday, Coach.
Yeah, Joe, I thought they, played with a really, really good competitive edge. Their mental intensity, their focus, everything was, really good. And I said it started, early when Holden Willis caught a ball on our sideline and, he lowered his shoulder and broke a tackle and ran through somebody. And then about 7 or 8, 10 yards later, the same thing, hits another guy that knocks him out of bounds. But that kind of energized the sideline a little bit, and then, I think it was the first one, Elijah Metcalf, catches a little bubble screen, and they got him hemmed up, but he keeps fighting, keeps competing and working and breaks the tackle, and they kind of give up on the play. They think he's down, and he spits out there and scores. And, then DJ, Nick made a great throw right there at the end of the half and stuck it in between two guys, and he just outran everybody. And Holden had a nice touchdown catch on their sideline in the second quarter down there where he, caught a fake screen and go and, put the brakes on. The guy overran it, and he got in the end zone. And we finished it off with Jeremy Tate on his, middle post touchdown where, a couple guys bounced off of him, and he got in there. So, again, I just thought everybody had a really, really high competitive edge going into that game.
We're talking MTSU head football coach Rick Stockstill. Again, they take on UTEP this Saturday at Floyd Stadium. I want to ask you kind of a philosophical question. As a coach that has a lot of skins on the wall, you've been doing this for a long time, but do you feel like with coaching that sometimes you got to play the mind games, whether it's with an opponent or with your own team to try and motivate, whether it's something that a coach says in a press conference that's really meant for maybe their team or meant for their opponent? Do we make too much of a big deal out of that as media, or does that stuff really go on?
No, I think a lot of times, coaches, me included, coaches, you'll send a message, through your media. I mean, when you're getting interviewed, you want to, say some things. And I go back to our Miami game last year. I said some stuff after that game that was out of character. I probably shouldn't have said, when I'm saying, we kicked their tail, and I didn't need to say that. But I wanted our team to know that, hey, man, y'all kicked their tail, and, you send a message to your guys that you got their back, and so I think people do that. And obviously, you're always trying to find different buttons to push to motivate your team during the course of the week. I don't know so much anymore about the so-called bulletin board material. I think coaches have kind of gotten a little guarded in what they say about, other than Lane Kiffin, what they say about, the opposing team. And I say that with all due respect. And, but I do think that coaches try to, I think Coach Saban's one of the best at sending messages through the media to his team.
Fantastic. Coach, UTEP rolls in on Saturday. What I don't scare you about UTEP, but what's one thing that you got to caution against this UTEP minor football team coming here on Saturday?
Joe, this is going to be an old school slobber knocker. And, you're going to see, they're going to line up and try to, mash it down our throats. You're going to see 21 personnel. You're going to see 12 personnel. Ooh. You're going to see 2 tight ends. They're going to, a fullback, they've got probably the most experienced offensive line in the conference. I think 4 of the 5 were preseason all-conference guys. Their back is an all-conference guy. He's a 220, 25-pound guy that is a physical runner. And so we got to be prepared for, a fist fight, a street fight. And because it's going to be a physical game. And then they don't give up a lot of points defensively. They try to win the time of possession and limit your at-bats. And they do a good job of keeping the ball in front of them. And so it's going to be an old school fist fight. And we got to play really, really efficient and effective. We got to, when you play, especially when you play teams like this, you've got to be, super cognizant of, your ball security because, it's they're not Army, Navy where they're going to, take 40 plus minutes off the clock, but they do have the ability that they could if we don't get stops.
Fantastic. Coach, you got Chase and I, we're kind of upset that you didn't get honored on senior day. So what we're going to do one day is we're going to bring you and Greg Pogue on and honor our favorite seniors. Is that okay?
I'm not in the AARP, whatever that's called. I ain't in that club yet.
We got it. Coach, we love you. Thank you. We'll see you Saturday, sir.
I appreciate you guys. Have a great week.
You too. Coach Rick Stockstill joining us.
That's sad. He didn't get a senior day.
I know. You know what's funny? Like, you think about these things that are just like old hat now for us. Like
right.
we like a senior day or whatever. And then he brings, we didn't do that. It was just, you just play the game.
My goodness. That breaks my heart, man.
I know. But it's like and then now I want to know is, well, who decided to do a senior day for the first time? Like it's kind of like Dusty Baker, who just retired, is a part of basically inventing the high five.
Is he?
Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Like, and high fives are a part of everyday society now, but that was kind of like the, doing the high five after a good at bat or whatever kind of started with those Dodger teams back with Dusty Baker.
What about the butt slap?
That I don't know.
I'd like to know where that started from. We'll get Coach Stockstill.
I'd like to go back in time and go, do we really think this is a good idea?
But we'll honor Coach Stockstill. We'll throw Greg Pogue in there as well, I guess. No, we'll just honor Coach
Quite
Stockstill.
frankly, we will. we will do that. Coming up next, again, we're live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer. You'll be here till 1 o'clock. I'm hanging around as well. Going to give away some great prizes. 140 3rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. Black Tap boasts Nashville Scene Best of Nashville Readers Poll wins for Best Burger, Best New Bar, Best New Restaurant, as well as Burger Week's Best Original Burger for its signature Tennessee burger. I'm going to be trying one of those here very, very soon. So come by and see us. They open in about 15 minutes or so. We're going to do some celebrity birthdays and also talk a little bit more about Black Tap. We'll do that next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Predators fans, Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse 100 in Bellevue, and Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue are 102.5 The Game's official home for Predators watch parties. Catch all the games at Brewhouse and enjoy great specials on Blue Note Bourbon and Black Abbey Beer. We are your home for Smashville. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the Electronic Express Black Friday Savings Marathon. Every Sunday means hot new deals. Get the gifts you want and save up to 50% throughout the entire store. Get a TCL 65-inch 4K TV, now only $349, plus other hot deals. At Electronic Express, dream big, pay small with up to 36 months special financing on deals like a Frigidaire kitchen package, only $15.99, or a Microsoft Surface Pro 9, now only $8.99. Shop the Black Friday Savings Marathon at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
At Mercedes-Benz of Music City, a healthy and productive culture takes a day-to-day discipline. Here's Sam Cavett, General Manager, with a few thoughts.
Mercedes-Benz has its standard, and we have Dream Motor Group standards. They're definitely on the same level, but I feel like we challenge ourselves at least as much as Mercedes-Benz challenges us. It's a genuine motivation to take care of customers, and we see it in the customer reviews.
Live the dream at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, mbofmc.com.
Get ready for a magical holiday experience at Belle Meade Historic Site and Winery. Join us for our free holiday open house Thursday, November 16th from 5 till 8 p.m. Meet Santa and Mrs. Claus, tour our enchanting mansion, and delight in holiday crafts and activities for the whole family. Treat yourself with our renowned wines and bourbon from Belle Meade Winery and savor foods from the Belle Meade Meat and 3. Let's create cherished memories that will last a lifetime at Belle Meade Historic Site and Winery. Only 7 miles from downtown Nashville. Reserve online at visitbelmeade.com.
This year, Boys and Girls Club of Middle Tennessee celebrates its 120th anniversary. Through time, BGCMT continues to evolve to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible leaders. Because of your continued support, BGCMT has remained strong and is committed to supporting our youth and solidifying our mission and culture in new exciting ways for 120 years. Visit bgcmt.org today.
Your company's hiring. Who isn't? We would love to show you how to use 1025 The Game to attract and retain employees. We can also help you find the exact person you're looking for with a targeted digital campaign. You can trust our team to help you build your team. Email us at together@cromwellmedia.com.
Hey, are you seeking relief? Maybe you just want to enhance your day or night. Did you know there are legal THC products available right here in Tennessee? Yeah, really. You can have legal THC products shipped directly to the comfort of your home. Yes, comfort in cannabis is only a website away. Visit greentreescompany.com. That's Green Trees with a Z, and change your life today.
Hey, if you missed our show, you can get it on demand. Just search for the Chase and Big Joe Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or any podcast platform.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Hey, Preds fans, don't miss tonight's Smashville Live. They'll be at Brewhouse 100 in Bellevue at 6 o'clock. You can see Predators star players up close and personal, get autographs and pictures. This week's special guests, the goalies, Kevin Lankinen and, of course, Juuse Saros. Smashville Live is presented by the Black Abbey Brewing Company, so looking forward to that. Max Hers and Jay Moore. We'll have that for you again coming up at 6. Chase and Big Joe live today at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer, 143rd Avenue North, just across from the Batman building. Been a lot of fun so far. They're about to open their doors, going to have some lunch, give away some great prizes. What we have that you have to come down here and register to win. Preds and Blackhawks for Saturday, and also December 12th, the Preds and the Philadelphia Flyers. Actually saw them play earlier this year in Vegas, but they'll be in town December 12th. You can come register to win tickets to both of those games, JoJo.
You can't do that. We're joined now by the GM here at Black Tap, Don Morris. Don, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for coming this morning.
Thanks for having us. This is a great spot right here in downtown Nashville, and I know you've been open since May, but this is awesome.
Thanks, yeah. We're real happy with the spot. We're just a block off of Broadway in a historic building, the Baker Donaldson building, right across the street from the Batman building, and we love the location.
I was telling Chase earlier, he's like, describe Black Tap for me. This was a few days ago. I said, it's got this cool New York Seinfeld vibe to it. And you walk, he's like, yeah, it kind of does. I like the way it's different from what you see anywhere else downtown.
Yeah, we have a great design team, and our CEO is very involved in design, Julie Mulligan, and it turned out beautiful, from the different murals that we had local artists do to the cassette wall that we have in our private dining room, and the different pieces of artwork around. They did a phenomenal design job.
Now, the good thing about this place is the word of mouth is fantastic about Black Tap. You guys won the best burger, original burger, for the Tennessee burger in the Nashville scene. That's a huge thing, Don. You got to be mighty proud of your staff.
I'm very proud of the staff. So Burger Week, which took place a couple of months ago, 63 locations around the city were involved, and we were voted best overall burger.
Yes.
And then the Nashville Scene does its best of edition in October. And we wound up winning Best New Bar, Best New Restaurant, and Best Burger in Nashville. So we're very happy with that, and extremely proud of our staff and the job they've done since we've opened.
So I already know I'm going to eat a burger. Is the Tennessee burger the way I want to go?
Well, that was the winner of Burger Week, and it is an excellent recipe that was done by our corporate chef, Stephen Parker, and I would highly recommend that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sold. That's what I'm going to do. That's going to be lunch here in just a few minutes when we're off the air. But, yeah, again, come down and see us today. It's right here across from the Batman building, and you can also park across the street at the Commerce parking and get a discount there. So very easy to find, and you can come by and say hi.
Don, you're a veteran of the downtown scene. How Black Tap fitting in with everything else has just been fantastic, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I know a lot of our neighbors down here, and everybody's very welcoming, and people don't look at it as competition. They look at it as a community. We're all here to, provide for the tourists and the guests to Nashville. Yeah, we get along great, and we feel very well received and welcomed by the city.
But do you ever sneak over and get a milkshake and go out and back? And because if I wait here, Don, I'd weigh 800 pounds, and I'm not kidding you.
You have to have some self-discipline to survive here, for sure. The shakes are unbelievable. And they are very tempting. I have some staff that complains that they can't, keep their temptations in check. So, some self-discipline is required.
Yeah, you don't want to hire me when we come down here. All right, so Don, when we love doing this, we have special guests on to play this great segment called Celebrity Birthdays. You're going to partake in this. And so the idea is we'll throw a birthday out there. You got to get them within 2 years. And we've had some famous people play this. So are you ready to do this, Don?
I'm ready.
All right. So Chase will go first because that's the way he demands it to have.
That's the way you've always done it. Celebrity Birthdays presented by Zach Pillar and his new Instagram account. Follow Zach on Instagram, Zach Pillar Design 69, and step into his world. Let's do it. Dr. Crane, hit it.
All right, Don. First birthday, actor Sam Waterston. How old is he?
Sam Waterston, I would say he is 78.
Is that the Law and Order?
It is.
Guy? 80.
He's 83. You guys missed it. Beverly D'Angelo. She was in all the vacation movies.
Yeah.
Used to be married to Al Pacino.
You're first.
No, you're first. Chaser, you're always first.
Okay. 72.
I say 68.
She's 72.
Oof. Boom.
Chase, that's Don. Chase does that little tactic to throw you off.
No,
so
that's not true.
Don't fall for it.
All right.
At all. Next birthday is, let's see here. I don't know them. Don't know them. Never heard of her. Have no idea who that is. All right. Singer Petula Clark. Did she not sing Downtown? Downtown. Da-da-da.
Yeah,
we're downtown.
Key phrase there is she sang it.
She sang
75?
I'm going to say 80.
91.
I had a feeling she was up there.
91. News correspondent. He's been on CNN. He's now with Fox. John Roberts.
Oh, okay. 58.
I'm going to go 49.
67.
I don't know if I'm sure who he is.
Neither are we.
I think I'm thinking of somebody else.
Band leader Kevin Eubanks. Used to be on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Kevin Eubanks on The Tonight Show band. It's 68.
I'm going to say 64.
66. That's a push.
That's a push.
You guys did well on that. Let's see. Country singer Jack Ingram. How old is Jack Ingram?
39.
I'm going to go with 40.
He is 53.
Jeez.
The lead singer, now one of you two got to get this one. The lead singer of Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. How old is he?
Ooh. 51.
I'm going to say 54.
He is 49. Chase is up 2-0. Don, we got to get you one here, okay?
Right.
Don't go anywhere. We believe in you 100% you can do this. All right, we find somebody that we've heard of here
that helps.
It does help, right? Let's see here. Rapper E40. I've never heard of this in my life.
Well, he was here like a year ago.
Rapper E40 was?
Yeah.
Okay.
42.
45.
He is 56. And that's all we got.
Okay.
So, but Don, you tried, though. You got to push.
Don.
That was fun. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You got to push. Thank you for everything, Don.
Real quick, you guys are known for your happy hour as well. What can people expect with happy hour?
Sure. So we're running happy hour Monday through Thursday now from 4 to 7 p.m. All of our beers, whether they're draft, canned, whatever, they're all $5, and then we have Cosmo, frozen Cosmo for $8. We have Bushwhacker for $12.
Nice.
We have House Wine, $6 for a 9-ounce pour, and all of our well drinks are $8. So it's a great deal. We're throwing in some live music once or twice a week during that. You could check our website for information on that. We just kicked it off last week, and we're excited about it as a new promotion.
Very, very cool.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, thank you, Don. Thanks so much for having us today. Don Morris, the GM here at Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer. Again, we are going to be here till 1 o'clock today. Come by, say hello. They are about to open their doors. You can register to win Preds tickets to see the Blackhawks on Saturday or December 12th against the Flyers. Also some other things as well, and I'm ready to eat.
You know who's 2 birthdays of people that passed away? Randy Savage's birthday was today.
Macho.
Also, William Herschel. You know what he's famous for?
I don't.
He discovered Uranus.
Okay. Well, there you go.
William Herschel. He did.
All right.
Fun show, buddy.
Yep, fun show indeed. We laugh.
We have a good time. As we say goodbye to every show, remember our friends, our guys out there, if you're struggling, here's a number, 988. 988. Call that number if you need somebody to talk to. Call Chase if you need somebody to talk to. Remember, we love you. Our world is a better place that you are here. So if you need to talk to somebody, please reach out. Again, we love you guys.
Caroline, Willie, and D. Mace coming up next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota